What did you steal?
Secrets.
Disclosure Day is Steven Spielberg's best film in 20 years.
Are they people?
No.
Are they human?
My God.
Spielberg does this better than anybody in history.
I can see them. They're coming.
Disclosure Day. Rated PG-13. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters Friday. Get tickets now.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Social Media Derby. We've got episode 136. We're going to be chatting through the Premier League 25-26 season grades for our four teams. We'll also be catching up on the transfer news. Obviously, Liverpool have got a new manager. Man United have, here we go, a player. And then we'll also be doing the World Cup Game Week 1 preview for our first seeded teams. But before we get into the pod, for those watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment and share if you can. And for those listening on the audio podcasting platforms like Spotify, Apple, etc., please follow, give us a 5-star review. All of that helps grow the pod. And of course, the views expressed in this podcast are just jokes, entertainment purposes, nothing too serious. So yeah, all light-hearted banter. How you man doing? Fresh back from Netherlands? Jonty, Razor, waking up at ungodly times. You man holding up all right?
Let's move through the small talk. Come on now.
This guy just woke up. Bro, he woke up from a nap. Yeah, he woke up from a nap, man.
At least you've got to nap, sunshine.
Yeah, exactly, isn't it? But anyway, let's run through the season grades. So we'll start off with Arsenal, champions. I'll give everyone just a little summary of obviously the results in all the competitions that they were in, and then we will share all of our grades, and then we can come to a decision on what we think is fair based on what everyone voted. So in the Premier League, obviously top, 85 points, first title in 22 years, etc., etc. Parade videos in the background, pictures, in the background and that. Champions League, finalists, losing to PSG on penalties. So again, yeah, pretty deep in the competition. Pause. FA Cup quarter-final, losing to Southampton. That's probably the biggest blip in the season, to be fair. Quarterfinals is not too bad. And then Carabao Cup final, losing to Man City 2-0 in March. So, yeah, pretty good season by all accounts. Talk of quads, could have easily been the Premier League and Champions League double, if not for a penalty shootout. So super successful season. I'll start off with the lads who aren't here yet and what their grades were. Reese has gone A. Khem has gone A-. Io, I know, is joining in a little bit, but since he's not quite here yet, I'll share his grade. He's gone A as well. Razor, we'll start with you, mate. What grade have you given Arsenal for this season based on those results?
I've got an A+. Because if we're being real, you gassing about quadruple. People like Khem were talking about the quadruple more than any Arsenal fan I saw. I think we all wanted the league, and we went out and achieved the objective of what we wanted. I think signings that we didn't have a lot of faith in have obviously helped get us over the line. And yeah, I think generally, maybe the plus was me just knowing that everyone else was going to, I knew I'd be one of the only ones sprinkling the little plus on there, so I thought I'd add it. But yeah, all around a good season. I feel like Khem's just being a Khem with his minus, but, fine. Nothing angers me about any of those other ratings, so we're good.
All right, yeah, I hear you. Jonty, what's your grade for this season?
Yeah, I'm not as positive as Ray in terms of an A+. I gave us an A just because I'm imagining if we did, win the Champions League or other trophies, then I probably would have put it up to an A plus, like it would have been perfect or whatever. So, yeah, based off of what we achieved, I'm going to say it's an A. Give us some space or some room for next year to be an A plus, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree, man. I went A. I don't think Khem was too crazy with the A minus, to be fair, because there's a couple of ways you can judge it, right? Just with context of you guys have finished second quite a few seasons, so getting over the line is an achievement, a big achievement. Getting to a finals progress after last season's semi-final. So I get the A and the A pluses. I think they all make sense. I'm guessing Khem's context is like what John said, just giving some room for if you'd won the Champions League, if you won a treble, or if there were other, kind of overachievements. Well, I've gone A. I think A is the minimum for me that I would give you lot, because I think getting over the line is a big deal. It's in the Prem alone, 22 years everyone's been talking about, right? So I think A minus is maybe slightly devaluing it, but I hear it. So I think based on what everyone's voted, I think A is probably what we land on, right? 4 of us voted A. We got one A minus, 1 A plus. I think laws of averages, we work out that it's an A, right? So all right, cool.
Plus.
Yeah, just to equal out. You went extra positive just to negate Khem's negativity. I hear it. I was just joined as well, so we'll bring him in. To be honest, I actually team to grade, along with maybe Chelsea as well. Can you hear me? Or what's going on? What's Razor's face about?
To be honest, I don't know. Io joined, your audio went, then Io's picture went, then your audio returned. Now Io's gone, and I can hear you. Please do carry on, our under fire host.
All right, fair plays. All right, let's move on to Chelsea. This one might be fairly easy as well, to be fair, but in the opposite direction. So yeah, Reece is going to wince here in these results, but this is what we have to do for every team. So Premier League, they finished 10th, pretty diabolical position out of Europe. Had a chance to still sneak into. I have to remove Io. Man's got 3 people in the background. All right. Finished outside of Europe. Could have finished in Europe, Europa League actually, based on the final day results. If they didn't mess it up, losing at Sunderland, but they did. So they finished 10th out of Europe. 1 game a week. Monday Night Football, most likely for them, like we did this season. Champions League, they lost in the round of 16 to PSG, got absolutely battered. I think it was like 7-2 on aggregate or something along them lines. It wasn't pretty. FA Cup, probably the shining light of their season, got to the final. Still lost, though. Rough for them, but at least they got to a final. They could have got through into Europa League through that route as well, but they didn't. And Carabao Cup, they lost in the semi-finals to you lot, to Arsenal, losing home and away. So it wasn't great for them either in that one. So I'll share the grades from the lads who aren't here. So Khem voted F. Reece has gone U. Io, since you've just joined, bro, what's your grade for Chelsea this season?
Yeah, I went U as well, I believe. I'm coming through.
Yeah, you're coming through. But you got a riff. You can't just stop at the grade. You got to give us some details, bro.
So yeah, obviously I think a lot of what I caught you saying. Poor season, spent a lot of money, disappointing. Can't be finishing 10th with the investment they had, and I think, yeah, disappointing loss. The sacking of Maresca, just a lot of calamities in one season. So yeah, definitely a U. And obviously more pain to Reece as well after all of this shit chatting. So that's always good.
Yeah, I hear it. Johns, what's your grade in this one? Because I think you may have gone differently than a U. So what's your grade for Chelsea this season?
I did this quickly and I wasn't really sure what grades were not available, because I know like in a lot of countries I don't think U is an available grade. So I gave them an F. Again, the idea of could it have been worse if a view was available, or just like a ungraded was available? that's probably what I would have given to Tottenham had they gone down. And I would put Chelsea in a similar category. So, yeah, I'm going to give them an F, be a bit generous, but it was a stinky season.
Yeah, I hear you. It could be. I mean, this Tottenham 2 seasons have just thrown all like expectations out of whack for like a Big Six team. I know Tottenham, some people disagree with them being called that, but they are obviously considered in that batch. So for them to finish 17th and just about avoid relegation this season, I think, as I understand, if that was the barometer, Chelsea weren't quite that bad. But yeah, I've also gone you. It's not only for the results, it's because they've had, 3 or 4 managers? They had Seth MacFarlane for a bit doing the FA Cup final. It's been shambolic club management, right? From top to bottom. Players have stunk. Yeah, it's been diabolical. So I think I've just applied the context of taking Tottenham out of the consideration, because I just think that's such an aberration. Even though I know they finished 17th last season, they literally could have gone down, and I don't know if Chelsea could have physically done that, but who knows? Maybe it's possible. Razor, what's your prediction in this one as the last one who hasn't shared it? Are you going U, F, or are you going for something else?
I feel like I was generous when I sent them over, but I would like to change it because I agree with you guys. Chelsea have stunk. They've consistently stunk, and their star players have been missing. There's been drama. It's been like a soap opera in the dugout. Their fans are still awful, but they have become more awful, like protesting the club and whatnot. And as someone who has been through the bridge this season, I can tell you the vibes not high. So yeah, I think they are quite deserving of an F. I do think a U should be reserved for Spursy stuff. And I know we're not talking about them, but I think Chelsea have just failed. Like, you're not going to get you're not going to take any A levels if you get an F. And they are not taking any A levels. They are retaking the year. No additional modules, no European football.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, so we've got 3 Fs, 3 Us. I'm happy to give them a slight upgrade to an F, and we settle on just the F all round, because I do think with the Tottenham context that does kind of make sense. It is diabolical for Chelsea, but yeah, let's see next season if it could get worse. If they go down to that level of Tottenham, then boy, I can't imagine what Reece is going to be doing on the pod, man. I worry for him. All right, let's go on to Liverpool then. Kemi isn't here, but we'll go through it anyway. EPL finished 5th, spent 500 million. One of the worst defending champions in history. Quite a few pundits have called them. I think statistically they're in the like bottom 3 point scoring for the following season. I think Chelsea themselves and Leicester, obviously, the season after they won it, got less points after winning the title. So pretty diabolical. UEFA Champions League, they lost in the quarterfinal to PSG. This is a running trend. All 3 clubs that we're talking about that were in the Champions League this season all got knocked out by PSG. This was in the quarterfinals. Pretty comprehensive again. Not quite as bad as Chelsea and not as close as Arsenal, but comprehensively lost. Quarterfinal of the FA Cup, lost to Man City, got absolutely battered. Carabao Cup, lost in the round 4 to Crystal Palace. I believe they lost at home to like Crystal Palace's B team, so not the greatest showing in the Carabao Cup either. All right, Khem's gone D, Reece has gone C. Jonty, I'll start with you, mate. What's your grade for Liverpool considering those results this season?
For me, I've gone for a D. I can't give them a C because that would be like average. It's not an average season for them. And it's definitely not been a good season. So I kind of use like C as my 5 out of 10, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I think it's below that. It's not an F though in terms of Chelsea. I think maybe some of you will go for that, but it's not as bad as it potentially could have been. They still ended up finishing in a somewhat decent spot. So I'll give them a D, but it's definitely, yeah, stinky PL champions. And I think the place that they finished was actually generous to the way that they played. Because I've been hearing a lot about Arsenal not playing very well. But if any of you lot watched the Liverpool match, it was not good viewing.
Yeah, you know when you hate watch a team, you're expecting them to make you feel a bit nervous at different times. And watching Liverpool this season has been hard watching. It's not. They haven't been making you nervous at all. But at the same time, they kind of just make the game unenjoyable to watch in terms of the style. You could see that they were disjointed in it, and that the players weren't rocking with what Slot wanted them to do on the pitch, and it just made for a very weird style of football. I'm going to move to you, Razor, next, because I'm going to leave IL till last because his grade is the funniest one to reveal. So, Razor, what's your grade for Liverpool?
Changing mine again. I'm changing it to an F for failure to meet expectations. For breaking the transfer record twice in one window, for having F for flop, which could be applied to lots of their new signings. Essentially, genuinely speaking, I could reach the point in the season where my FPL tactic was like, who's playing against Liverpool this week? Just like sub someone from their team in. And I think what John said, the season itself isn't like a massive underperforming. It's not woeful in the way that Chelsea's was, woeful in the way that Tottenham was, certainly. But I think whereby there were so many expectations, being the champions, spending that amount of money, buying, not just the amount of money that they spent, but the way that they navigated the transfer market as well. It was like, we're getting our guys. We're not having an either the striker or that striker. We're getting both strikers. You know what I mean? So to do all of that and then to be, impotent, talking up all the game at the bar to the girl about what you're going to do when you get home, and you got home and you went, do you know what I mean? That was Liverpool. So, F for fuck Khem.
Fair enough. I hear you, bro. Io, you can stick the final knife in. What's your grade for Liverpool this season?
Yeah, I think everyone's agreed. But actually, I went for you, for as you said, underperforming, utterly useless, undeserving champions, all the U's in the world, and they utilized it completely. That utilized was actually that was actually very spontaneous. I didn't actually plan for that one, surprisingly.
That was a good one.
No, I think based on expectations, isn't just. I think that's why. I think, and as John said, them getting fifth wasn't due to their performance. It was just because every other team around them just struggled and fell off. Like, their season was poor. As you said, they were one of the worst defenses for a champion there's been. They spent 500 million. Like, when you factor in all of those things, I just don't. Yeah, as it's like fifth sounds good on paper, but when you put that much investment in, when you're the defending champions, at least put up a challenge to defend your title, but they just completely fell by the wayside by like October. So, yeah, utterly useless. And I didn't realize that PSG put belt to Arsenal on all the English teams until you mentioned it.
Yep.
That is a crazy. I didn't realize that's what they did to England this season, but that was good to know that. It's good to know it wasn't just us that had to fall at the hands of them. So, I think, a terrible season from Liverpool. And, should definitely be ashamed. And I think, obviously, when you guys were giving your ratings, I thought I was a bit too harsh. But the more I realised the more I'm actually very much, stand by that season being absolutely despicable, like diabolical, really. And, to spend that much money and to do what they did. And now they've sacked the manager as well. So, all in all, an absolute failure of a season, to be fair.
Yeah, you know what? If there's something that I can fully support and back, is Liverpool hate. But I didn't go U. I did actually go D for this. But it's just because they scraped the Champions League. But what you man said is totally fair. They finished fifth, and if Chelsea were on job, if Tottenham were absolutely diabolical, they could have easily not got Champions League. Even if Bournemouth or Brentford or Brighton or one of those teams just had slightly performed a little bit better in those last couple of game weeks, they could have easily dropped out of Champions League, and it would have been fair. They couldn't have had any arguments. So I hear it, man. But I think just because we've got one F, Reese gave a C. I don't know why he's being super kind to them. One F, one C, one U, 3 Ds. All right.
People on middle incomes look wealthy when you live in poverty.
Yeah, there is probably some logic to that. All right, so we're going to give them a D grade, considering most of us went for that. All right, we'll move on to Man United. Premier League finished third, 71 points, I think we ended up with, or something along them lines, or I think it was high 60s potentially. So not too shabby. Finished third behind City and Arsenal. Well clear of Liverpool and Villa, who finished in fourth. That's where the good news ends. FA Cup out in the round of third round to Brighton at home. Pretty poor. I think Darren Fletcher was our manager then. So when it comes to managers, we've had quite a few as well. Carabao Cup, that is the real icing on the cake. The sprinkles on the Sunday in terms of shocking performances. Going out on penalties to Grimsby Town in round 2. I can't even remember the last time we were in the second round of the Carabao Cup. That was because we did so badly in the season prior. But yeah, 1 game a week for about 3 months at the end of a season. Not good at all. Reese has given us a C. Khem has gone for B-. I'm going to jump in quickly before I go to you lot. I've given it a flat B. Only because we got into Champions League, and I don't think that they predicted that we were going to get into Champions League. But I could probably go C+. I could go B- as well, because it's just about looking at the season half empty or half full, depending on whether you focus on the Amrim stuff or you focus on the Carrick stuff. So I'm choosing to focus a little bit more on the Carrick second half of the season and gone for a B. Io, what have you gone for Man United's grade?
I went for a C+, and that was me being, that was being generous, to be fair. I think you guys, I think one game a week for as long as you did it is a benefit, and we should use that as what's the thing in golf, like a handicap. That definitely boosts you up a little bit. Yeah, as you said, lose to Grimsby. That can never be forgotten, and that definitely hold some weight. I think finishing Champions League was good. I don't think many people. I think that's one positive from the season. Now, he did look good second half of the season, to be fair, but yeah, playing one game a week, losing to Grimsby. I'm pretty sure you were knocked out of. Yeah, I don't know how you get knocked out of a cup in August, which is crazy to me. Like that, I didn't know that was even. I didn't know even that was possible in football, but you guys showed that, and. So, yeah, that definitely has to hold some weight. But, yeah, you get in Champions League. I think you can hold your head up high. Obviously, you won your trophy this year with Fernandes. So, I guess that's a bit positive for the club as well. So, C+. And that was, I can't hate it. I was trying to hate and find a reason to give it lower, but I think a C+ is fair enough.
I love how man said he's trying to hate after all the little digs, but I hear it, bro. This is a good point, that DK6638 says about, do you think style of play matters or just winning at any cost? I think it does, man. But I think put it in context, right? With these Arsenal men have been talking throughout the whole season. Io's been the style of play guy. The other two have been a bit more pragmatic. When it comes to the team or what your objectives are, I think you compromise on those things. But I think they can make things worse, right? I'm sure you lot all agree. If Liverpool played really exciting football and they finished 5th, maybe we would give them slightly higher. But they played pretty boring football and they finished 5th. So I think that factors in. And I think, for example, the style points, that's maybe also why I've given United a B as well, because it was better football, man. Under Amrim, it wasn't fun. 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't good football. And with Carrick at the wheel or whatever, at the helm, we started to play a bit better. So I think it definitely does factor in. But yeah, with what Io says, I hear it. I think B and C makes sense. Jonty, what's your grade for United this season?
Yeah, I'll give him a B minus. I think it very much could have been an F season had it continued like it was going at the beginning. And I think getting rid of Amarim and getting a new manager in completely changed your fortunes. So I've gone with a B minus because, I mean, you did come, was it 15th last year? You stank it up as well. So to come third, it's a massive jump. And I think my expectations for Man United were low. They were like mid-table, upper mid-table maybe. So coming third, I think, is a big kind of boon for you lot to take pride in. But yeah, I think it can't be an A because of the fact that your cup runs, I don't know if you can even call them runs. Your cup crawls, your cup,
they're just
doing the worm on the ground
out
like this,
away.
like whatever you lot were doing, it was not good in any kind of cup. So yeah. I mean, I might retrospectively come back at the end of next season and look back and maybe change this grade, because if you lot stink it up next season when you get cups, I might have to retrospectively take some kudos away from you for this one. But yeah, I think it's a B minus season, better than you expected to do in the thing that matters really, which is the league.
Yeah, I hear it. Razor, what's your grade for United in this season?
I gave you a B. Well, when I messaged you, I gave you a B plus. I think it should be a flat B, because everyone's taken into account. So basically, I didn't take into account all of the cup stuff because I thought it was the Premier League grade.
Forgot about it.
Yeah. No, I remembered it. It's very entertaining, but I thought it was like Premier League season grade. But yeah, I do echo a lot of Jonty's sentiments there. I think like United did well, and they did well considering how poorly they started. But like that one game a week thing, the handicap, as I called it, can't be like forgotten about. But then also like get some kudos for finishing strong. And like a lot of teams got rid of their manager during the season, and it didn't have the desired effect on form, at least not straight away in a few cases. And I think that's like a key point. Like you guys switched management and were able to like sort of pick up form pretty much straight away and keep it going.
Yeah, I do think that's something to factor in a positive way as well, like you mentioned, because bringing a manager in mid-season, unless you're fighting relegation, can normally have a pretty bad effect on a team. I think we were 6th at the time, so we had plenty of room to sink after losing Amarim or get rid of Amarim, benefiting from Amarim leaving, whatever way you want to spin it. So yeah, it's it makes sense what you lot are saying. I think based on that, I think we're going to probably land on what our guy DK in the chat is saying: 1B, 1B plus, 1C plus, 1C, 2 B minuses. We're probably landing on a B minus if we're honest. So yeah, I think that's probably about right. But yeah, it will be. I think United is probably alongside Liverpool, one that's going to be hard to predict is what kind of next season is going to look like. Liverpool got a completely new manager. We've got the same manager, but with more competitions, probably a pretty different looking squad. So it's going to be interesting to see what it looks like. But I think that's about fair.
This isn't even like a mockery thing. It might sound like a mockery thing, but it's really not.
It's obviously going to be then.
It's really not. Is Fernandes' assist record like United's achievement of the season? Like, honestly, wholeheartedly.
No.
That's not a mockery thing, but what would you say is
bro? Of course it's not
for you guys.
No, of course it's not.
So
I think the thing is, right, Jonty mentioned it earlier, us finishing 15th, while it was diabolical, a lot of United fans shouldn't use that as, oh, if we finished 10th, it would be a C or whatever. 10th would still be a diabolically bad season, even if it's progression based on 15th. I think the thing is, they were projecting us they were hoping we were going to get Europa League. That's what the Barada done. He did an interview with MUTV or whatever, our YouTube channel, the other week. And what they were putting out was that we needed to get European football. And I feel like when they say that, if they meant Champions League, they would have said Champions League. So what I'm taking from it is that they were hoping for Europa League at bare minimum, maybe Conference League or something like that. As much as that sounds diabolical to me as a fan, they were hoping for that. So for them to reach Champions League, get third, which is not an achievement in terms of positions because you want to go for first or challenge. It's not really challenging to finish third where we did. But it's just the way that we comfortably got it, man. If you think about it, in the last 3 game weeks, we were chilling. And that's because we actually managed to accrue so many points since Carrick joined. So I think the assist thing is banter between all the fans. And because we literally wrapped up Champions League 3 weeks early, all the gas switched over to Bruno and his assist record and whatever. If we were still going for Champions League, that I don't think United would have been going for it as big as they did, because they would have had that to talk about and they would have been able to gas those games more. But it just happened to be that we wrapped up early and the Bruno assist thing was on. So I think it's definitely reaching Champions League, and the way they did it quite comfortably. I didn't predict that. If we had our notes from the pre-season predictions better organized, I don't think any of us had United in third. Let's be real. We may have had optimistically 4th or 5th if Nash or me was on the source or something prior to the episode. I can't remember, but otherwise I don't think we were that high on the predictions. So I think it's definitely getting Champions League, getting third quite comfortably. I think is definitely the highlight. But we're lucky that we did that, because otherwise the Carabao Cup thing that you mentioned, Io, going out in late August to Grimsby is diabolical. Even the Brighton one at home, 3rd round, we literally exited every cup at the earliest opportunity. That's poor. You can't do that, man. Especially without Europe, you can't do that, right? If we had Europe and we were going deep in Europe, then fair enough. You know, some managers tactically put out, you know, Arsene Wenger used to do it, Fergie used to do it, Mourinho used to do it, put the youngsters out in the Carabao Cup and just sack it off in the early rounds. Like, that's okay if you're in Europe, but we can't be doing that kind of performance without Europe. So yeah, that's a big,
you know what?
That's a big mark
I
against
thought
us.
I thought you were going to say beating the champions, mate.
No.
But you know, you
light
can
work.
really do that.
Light
So.
work. All right, let's go on to a transfer window. There's actually been a bit of news since we last chatted. Liverpool got a new manager, so I'm going to have to start hating on him because it's Spanish Antony. Andoni Iraola is their new manager. United have signed Ederson from Atalanta, and Ibrahima Konate has left Liverpool to go to Real Madrid. We'll start with the Iraola chat. We won't spend too much time on it. Well, we'll just go around the group. Razor, do you reckon he's going to succeed and he's going to be a good manager for them, or do you think it's big question marks after moving up from Bournemouth?
Happy B teams. Yeah, I think you know what? I think nobody knows, and it's a good thing that you can't pull up the beginning of season predictions, because I think there was a lot of confidence about Thomas Frank, and based on what he'd achieved at Brentford, and there was a lot of sadness for Brentford and probably misplaced pity, considering the fact that they were losing this manager that we thought we'd like sort of tipped as being really, really sort of instrumental in the success that they had. And we were wrong. We were a little bit wrong, it's fair to say, on that front. So it's tricky to tell, especially with the step up in the levels, isn't it? Like, Liverpool is not Bournemouth. Do you know what I mean? It's a very different sort of beast that he is going into. So I'm not sure. I think it'll be interesting to see, because obviously, like, the players, Liverpool spent a lot of money in the transfer window last season, but they spent that, one would assume, kind of with the vision of what the team that Slot was going to create would be. So I think it'll be more interesting when we start seeing how, you know, some of their players are playing in the World Cup, what kind of business they do in the transfer window. But yeah, until we kind of get a shape on like how he's going to play, I don't know how I feel about it. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think I hated the news when it dropped. It dropped on the day of the Champions League final, didn't it? And I was like, this is terrible. I thought it might happen as well, but I was just holding out hope that they were going to stick with Slot, like they were feeding all the transfer gurus and the different journos and stuff. But yeah, Iraola was the one manager I really didn't want them lot to get, because style of play wise, he gets he gets the team playing really well. He gets the most out of the players as well. But I guess there are some question marks. Jonty, what's your verdict on Iraola? Are you as positive as I have been on him, or do you think there's because it is a big jump, like Razor's saying, going from Bournemouth where the pressure's off. I think there was like a couple of months where he didn't win a game. Like you can't do that at Liverpool, and obviously the scrutiny's there. And if you look at Iraola, charisma wise, he's more of a slot than a Klopp, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but I think I'm not really looking at it like that. I'm looking at it more like, how does he play, and can the Liverpool team actually do that, right? And if you look at him, I think I was reading some stats earlier on the way home. Like he scored the joint, or Bournemouth scored the joint most goals from fast breaks with the fewest passes. And they were a really high pressing team. I think they covered the most distance with the highest intensity as well. So basically just sprinting constantly. And I think in that sense, I'm going to compare him from a style perspective very similarly to Klopp, right? From the way that, in terms of the way that he plays, it's very intense, high pressing, etc., etc. Maybe a little bit less dominant with the ball, obviously, just because of the fact that he's been managing Bournemouth and so on and so forth. But I then look at that and say, well, okay, if this were the Liverpool team that that Slot started with, right, the one that won the league, I think Iraola could do something with them, right? Because I think they would be more used to it. I think they had maybe more the players for it, but you'd still have the issues that they had. I really just think that their transfers, despite breaking the transfer record and all this, that, and the other, I don't know if they're in keeping necessarily with what we're talking about Iraola doing. Because I look at it now and I think, okay, from that front line, Ekitike, Isak, Cody Gakpo, like these aren't high pressing, intense players from what I've seen, right? Two of them got hamstrings made out of cheese string, and one of them is too busy on LinkedIn and not busy enough training. So from that point of view, I don't know how he's going to be able to do it, because I think if you look at Bournemouth, like people that were leading the line, you had a lot of hard workers, and I do think that kind of off the ball pressing and so on and so forth is going to be quite difficult to replicate with that team. So there's a part of me that worries. But yeah, from your point of view, in terms of like his personality, not being able to lose too much, I'm going to be honest with you. I think he fits the Liverpool ethos quite well, in the fact that he tries to create kind of like this underdog mentality within the team. He did it successfully at Bournemouth. I think there's a chance that he could go and do that at Liverpool, because let's be honest, Liverpool always have, despite this whole 20 titles thing that they're trying to do now, they've always tried to use this kind of underdog challenger mentality within their club. So I think he will actually fit that quite well. And I think as a result, he'll probably get a little bit, slightly longer rope from the fans. So, and I also think because of his style of play, even if they're not that great at it, it will look significantly more entertaining than Slot's football last year. So it's kind of that, like, setting the bar really low with Slot may actually help him, in that he's now got time because people are comparing him to the last guy. And I think a very similar thing will happen with Xabi Alonso, is that people will be so relieved that he's not Liam Rosinha that they will just accept whatever he's got to do, even if it looks a bit mental at the beginning.
Oh man, poor Arnie Slot. He's being thrown into convos with Liam Rosinha.
No, but you can't have the Liverpool representative coming on this podcast every week complaining about the style of football so terrible, I don't even watch us anymore, this, that, and the other. You can't have that and then not tell me that, and then try and get me to put respect on Slot's name afterwards, right? That was an asterisk win of the PL. No one's going to care about it. Just like my guy DK said in the chat, George Graham, and no one remembers him, whatever. I mean, this is 2 years ago, and I'm guaranteeing you next year, no one is going to remember what Slot did at Liverpool, what that title win looked like, etc., etc. So, talk about yeah.
I hear all that. It's just the Rosinha. How long was he manager? Like about 10 weeks. I hear what you're saying about everything's Slot. 10 weeks or something. Crazy.
I saw in one of these quizzes that he actually accumulated the least number of points out of like Rob Edwards at Wolves, Sean Dyche at Nottingham Forest. I didn't remember him being that bad, but he literally accumulated like the lowest number of points despite being there for quite a long time. So yeah, it's mad. But there needs to be some more conversations on Liam Rossini at some point.
Yeah, we'll leave that to a slow news day. All right, what are you thinking about this Iraola? Because, guys, I'm really trying so hard to hate and like finding any kind of angle to be like, he's going to be shit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to have to keep up the facade and just hope and pray and hate watch like hell. But I do rate him, and I do agree with a lot of the positives that Johnson's just said. But I need you to give me some reason to hate Io. Give me some negative vibes that I can put on him, because I'm a bit worried.
You've come to the wrong man. I'm sorry to break it to you. No, man. As I told you, I didn't realize this is the same Iraola I used to play with an Ultimate Team. Like, mind blows me. No. And honestly, still can't believe that's the same player. Like, time. But no, I think what he's done with Bournemouth is super commendable. I think all the players, maybe he's not the one bringing the players in, but the way he's got the players playing is like unbelievable. Like, obviously they lost. Like, I think you see the players actually love playing for him. Like, they lost how many players in the summer? Lost cares, for example. Like, they lost centre backs, they lost midfielders, and they just came back this season, looked even better. They he integrated these new players in well. Like, they signed Ryan in January, and he came into the team and just came in like he was playing, had the entire summer with them. Creepy, obviously, and just like even the players that Alex Scott like came out of nowhere. So I think he's clearly got an eye for talent and how to put these players into the right positions. He made Trufair look like an absolute world-class left back. So it's just like Kerkez looked like he didn't know how to play football last year, but we're at Bournemouth, he was amazing. So obviously he's clearly got some sort of touch with these players, and so I think he's got a way that he makes them work. So I think he's just got a good manager, and I think as John said, that underdog gimmick that Liverpool somehow get away with playing it. I think he does. I think he might be able to like channel it well with the whole like everyone's against us type of thing. And yeah, he might. I think I do agree. They might not have the players that he might need to kind of play the football he wants, like that pressure, that get the ball back, that intricacies. But I think if they give him time, he might not have an instant impact next season. But I think in like 2 years' time, like if he's still there, I think that's when you'll see the real, I guess, Iraola, because he might of some of the players obviously like older, he might be getting rid of if he gets a bit more legs in that midfield. Like, I know, and they've still got talent. And obviously, if Isak comes back healthy and fully fit, he's still a top striker. Like, so it's not like, yeah, he's not working with nothing. So and he's clearly a good manager. He knows how to get the best out of his team. Like Bournemouth, I don't think they didn't lose a game. I think from January or something, or like from February or something.
Longest unbeaten run.
Yeah. So like he knows what he's doing. Like in big games, like he sets his teams up to play good football, attacking football. He doesn't shy away. He came to the big boys. He came against City. He came against Arsenal. He said he's not going to change how we play. So I think that shows like commitment to his style of play. He backs himself. I think that's a really good trait of a manager. And it only seems like he gets it. I don't think he's going to be fazed by the step up in level. And maybe Liverpool, this is like a rebuilding phase for them, so it might actually work out well for him and the team, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad he went to Liverpool. I think he's a really good manager, and so they might, maybe not next season, but as I said, I think the season after, that's when they might come back to full strength and might be a bit of a bigger force to be ride.
I hear that, but hope he miserable at Liverpool. All right, let's go to Ederson and Arteta. We can do this quickly. I was shocked that initially signing Arteta. Don't understand it. Thing I which I on the John.
And your audio is brazy right now. I don't know if that's just me or.
Thank God, I thought that was me. That's why I turned my camera off. I went to church. I thought it was me. Jeez. Thank God. I was just
No, it's still doing this weird like in and out thing.
John, I'll fix it.
All right. And we've got the Undertaker coming in as well, so that's great. Khem, we were actually just talking about man like Andoni Iraola while Antony's sorting himself out. Why don't you tell us? We're all relatively scared. Not scared, but we think he's a good manager. We think he'll do well at your team. Maybe not next season because he's going to have to transition a couple of players in terms of, bedding in and getting used to the squad and this, that, and the other, and the players getting used to the football. What do you think of it? Are you? I mean, in the group chat, you were pretty positive about it. So I'm assuming you're on the same page as all of us that you think he's going to be a really good manager for you. He's going to suit the kind of old Klopp style of football, suit how your fans want to support the team in terms of kind of heavy metal, entertaining football.
I find it interesting that our Antony went running as soon as we talk about Spanish Antony. He's still hurting him there. He's back. Oh, good. Okay. Well, the main thing was Slot had to go, to be honest, because the football was diabolical. He has, whether it was his first season or the second season, he has no trust in the fringe players. We thought it was funny at the time with Kwanzaa, but moving on, maybe there was a squad player there we could have kept because centre-back became an issue, didn't it, with depth and everything like that. And Kanate's just gone as well. So maybe there was a player there we could have kept, and it's kind of his job to develop him instead of binning him after the first 45 minutes of the Premier League season. Same with Harvey Elliott, same with some of the other fringe players, Curtis Jones, all these guys want to leave. So that's not a good look. And for the future of the club, we wouldn't get any more Rio and Gamoras wanting to join the team if you know that you're never going to get minutes. So he had to go first and foremost. It could have been fucking anyone that comes in. I genuinely don't care. Like Kanye in the middle of his wild situations I'd have taken him instead of Slot. Now with Andoni Iraola, when it was clear he wasn't going to stay with Bournemouth, he wasn't really someone that jumped out at me. Like, I have to hate on Xabi now, but I did want to get Xabi in. But the laptop nerds love their ego. Xabi rejected them for Madrid, and they're going to hold that against him, aren't they? They might turn around and say his style of play is slow, but whatever. Iraola is exciting. Bournemouth have done well. In his 3 seasons, I think they've always moved up in points and moved up the table. And last season was a standout because he's got them European football, especially after quite a lot of their key players left, especially in defence. So he's worked with a shitty budget and done wonders. So you can only hope he does well. There is a massive pressure now because, when you draw a game at Bournemouth, it's seen as a good result. Whereas if you draw a game with Liverpool, it's seen as the end of the world. So he's going to have to adapt to that life. If there's just a style, like you said, that fans can buy into and enjoy, then that's good because he'll be given time with that. If he can give younger players a chance, fringe players a chance, and not use a million excuses here, there, and everywhere, then that'll be okay. With Slot, it was apparently everyone else's fault why we were letting in goals. Yep, we lost again, 9 in 12, but it's because it's set pieces again. What the fuck, man? It's never every year in football is you have to stop someone from scoring from a corner. It's it's not really a new thing. You're supposed to try to not let someone score in your own fucking goal. If it becomes a persistent problem, you should probably do something about it. And instead, he was just blaming the league. So,
just to interrupt you quickly, do you lot all understand what I was talking about now when I was saying about Slot and how much they hated him? Anybody that's not this guy will get time.
Well, the thing is, Slot was actually given time. He probably should, like I said, he should have been fired in November, man. It was wild. You can't be getting pumped by PSV 4-1 at home after getting pumped by Forest 3-0 at home. I don't know how he made it out past Christmas, but he did. So fair enough. Iraola, yeah, he's gonna have a lot of pressure on him now. He was the guy that everyone liked, and now, as you see with Ningyu, he's going to be the guy that people want to see fail, and that's just the game. That's just how it goes. Agenda's got her agenda. So you guys enjoyed what he done and the work he's done, but now you're going to be laughing if he fucks up. That's just how it goes. I hope he does well. It's not like us to change managers too often. That is true. So hopefully he can just. I think him being Basque is quite cool because they're sort of not saying their culture is the same. It's obviously Spain and England, but they're very much like a socialist kind of working class kind of region, supposedly, and he's moved to an area where they're kind of like that. So he might, you know, he might do well with his media. He might not look for excuses.
I'm sorry, that is such a reach, man. Jeez, bro.
Well, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to say that Liverpool are not part of the UK, just like Basque Country thinks that they're like a special part of the.
No, that's not what I was saying. That's not what I was saying at all. I'm just saying like he might actually culturally fit in with the people. He might say shit that people actually want to hear instead of just giving backhanded comments all the time, which he would usually do. He might actually resonate with the people and get the whole club behind him again, not just the playing staff, but his backroom staff and all the other shit. So that's going to be his job. So that's what's going to have to be what he starts off with. Obviously, integrating his style to the players, but he's also going to have to do one thing which he won't be used to, which is a lot of the matches will be will dominate possession. So the quick transitions might not happen as much. So he has to be able to adapt to that. Because Bournemouth can do that. They also play one game a week. They can run their ass off, inject compound V and go again. Now he's going to have to play every 3 days with players that have been pretty pathetic and couldn't run, it seems, for a year and a half, especially people like McAllister if he's still at the club. So we'll have to see how we can get those players fit and ready to go, especially after a World Cup. So, yeah, good luck to him. He looks like Dr. Octavius. So hopefully he pops off and makes Antony very unhappy. And continue to shake. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I do think you're reaching with the cultural thing because there's about 4 Basque coaches in the Premier League, and I think they all vary, right? I don't think we're going to
outside of Arteta and Iraola.
Bro, Arteta, Emery. Xabi Alonso originally is from that same area as well. He's going to be managing Chelsea, and now Andoni Iraola as well. So, and you would say they're not all similar characters; they're all quite different. So, I don't know culturally if it matters at all. I think the key is what you said at the end, which we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, and Jonty mentioned. I think, or maybe it was Razor. Like it's going to be the style of play fit, like whether you get the midfielders in that are going to be able to play the style of football that he wants to play, whether you're able to get in the centre-backs to cover, because obviously Virgil's older now and you're going to have... I don't think he can play that kind of football that unless he has a partner who's rapid next to him to help him out. So it's more based on that. And he's a coach, isn't he? So...
Yes, one thing. That's one thing as well. He's still head coach, so the pressure's on Hughes. Hughes brought him into Bournemouth. He's brought him into Liverpool, and he's got work to do.
Yeah, I agree with Razor. You tried the cultural heritage thing, but we all sniffed it a mile away. Let's talk about the actual signings now off the manager, because I think we were trying to get off it when my audio went left. But Konate to Real Madrid, like I think I was mentioning at the time, bit of a weird one. But I think we talked about it, Johns. Like it's a bit of a name brand signing type thing, and they need a centre back. So getting him on a free, even though he's had a diabolical season for Liverpool, is probably what they're aiming for, Real Madrid, with all the elections and that. You're not heartbroken to lose him, are you, Khem?
I said at the start of the season, the guy posted when he was on holiday in LA. The guy posted Route 66 as a fucking thing twice in his carousel, and I thought, this guy, that's just cryptic right there. Fuck off then. And he's played like it. He's played like it all year. So you know what? He's not obliged to stay here forever. He wants a new challenge, new country. Good luck to him. And obviously, Real Madrid wanted to sign a good French defender, and he's the only one they could find from the Premier League. So they went for Konate, and fair play to them. They were chatting to him for a while. So good luck to him, man. And also, they need someone who's used to covering Trent. So it makes sense.
God's sake, you've got all the digs in there. You know what? I'm gonna support it's not just because he's left Liverpool now, right? Because you saw my Instagram story. I'm showing a bit of love to Liverpool players and stuff right now. He did come out and talk a lot about kind of suffering with depression because of the Jota passing, and also his dad also passed during the season as well, right? So let's be real. Konate has been a pretty good defender for you prior to this season. So I'm going to take it as face value, and maybe that's true. And he just had a really hard season. We'll see, though. Real Madrid, right? Obviously, it's a different league. Maybe he'll bounce back and he'll benefit from slower pace and playing next to Trent, which he'll be used to, and whatever else. But yeah, I'm surprised that they went for him, considering how bad of a season he had. But yeah, makes sense. What do you, man, make of Ederson? Because I'll tell you, from a United perspective, it's been wild watching our fans react to this online. A lot of people have the Ugarte PTSD and have gone, oh my God, we're signing a midfielder from outside the league. He's going to be Ugarte. We're fucked. But if you actually have seen him play, my honest perspective is, I think it's a good signing. It's not loads of money. He looks pretty good. He's a bit of an all-rounder midfielder. He definitely can pass much better than Ugarte, so I'm a little bit less worried about the Ugarte situation. But obviously, he's never played in the Prem. So looking athletic and all action in Serie A is one thing. Doing it in the Premier League when you're going up against all the midfielders that we have that are very physical, it's going to be challenging. But I'm okay with it. I definitely think the people that are overreacting in a negative way need to just chill out. I don't think he's the marquee midfield signing that we're going for. I just think he's like a third or fourth option in midfield that we're looking to try and build the squad out. So I'm okay with it. Have you seen anything of Ederson before, or do you have any opinion on him signing, or you just think this is it's a whatever bit of news?
Yeah, can't say I've seen any highlight shit of him, but yeah, I'm not gonna say it moved me in terms of fearful. If he's anything like Ugarte, then I think that is definitely, yeah, that's good. That's cause for concern for you guys. But no, yeah, to be fair, I think it's like 45 million, or 50 million, isn't it, or something like that. So it's not too.
35.
Back in the day.
£35,
oh man, that's nothing too bad then, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I guess as a squad option, and I feel like I've seen links with Fernandez or something from West Ham as well. So clearly, it might just be a nice squad option to have. And it's better to have, obviously, if you're losing Casemiro and Ugarte, I guess it's good to have numbers. And yeah, I don't know, yeah, but so far you're scouting from Serie A with Højlund, I guess. You got some,
yeah,
it's
dodgy track record.
Stinkers. Yeah, it's not a good track record. So
it's Atalanta as well, bro. It's not only Serie A. It's the same club. We've gone back to the same club. Like I was chatting with Jonty about it again on the train. I think we bought Højlund from them, crazy amount. We just sold him as well. Yeah. We've managed to balance the books, but it's still a big loss if you look at what we paid. We bought Ahmad from them, which, depending on what season you're rating him on, is either diabolical or pretty decent. But I think that's still up in the air. And now we've got Ederson. So, yeah, let's see, man. He's been called up into the Brazil squad to replace someone that got injured. So, don't know if that's United tax or if he's just the next man up as a replacement. But we may get to see him at the World Cup as well, and maybe we'll be able to pass more judgment on him. It's hard to judge in Serie A. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's going to be a rotation option. So I think people need to just relax. It's either going to be Mateus Fernandez. I know they're still trying for Elliot Anderson. I know there's chat of Tchouameni and a bunch of other midfielders. So I couldn't tell you who the other midfielder we're going to get is. But if we ended the season with just Ederson in there, I'd be a bit worried. But I don't think that's going to be the case. All right, let's wrap up the transfer window chat because we didn't want to go on for too long with this week's episode. Let's jump into the big up Rasta Stocks 2654. We need some more United fans to rebuttal these wallads when they get a little bit too much haterade in them. You missed IO's a little bit earlier, so rewind just for that bit. Drop a comment. All right, let's get into the World Cup game week 1 preview because the World Cup's literally 48 hours away or less than that. Last week's episode, we drafted our teams. So, yeah, we're going to be doing preview predictions for Brazil, Germany, Spain, France, Portugal, and England because those are the kind of top seeded teams that we all drafted last week. Yeah, I'll start because we're going alphabetical and there's no scores, right? So we got no order to go by. We'll start with Brazil, Morocco. That's the first one of the big games that's going to happen. I've gone 2-1 Brazil. They are my team, so I'm probably a little bit biased. But Brazil. I think this is the first and second place team based on the FIFA rankings in their group. So it could really set the group up if Brazil win it. So I don't think they'll be under jeopardy or in any kind of danger of not qualifying if they don't win the game. But you think they're going to have be motivated to try and get the win. So I've gone 2-1. Io, what's your prediction in this one? Brazil, Morocco.
I've gone 2-2 for this one. I think they'll both score, but yeah, definitely, I can both teams conceding for sure. And Morocco, Morocco might be dark horses again, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2-2. All right, cool, that makes sense. Jonty, what's your prediction in this one? Brazil, Morocco.
I've also gone for 2-1 Brazil.
All right, cool. 2-1 Brazil. Khem, what's your prediction? Brazil, Morocco.
He's put himself back on mute.
Yeah, went
double
off.
Clicked it, mate. Just one click is enough.
2-1 Brazil.
Man's moving like Windows 98. We have to double click everything. I hear it. All right, 2-1. Yeah, proper boomer settings. All right, Razor, what's your prediction in this one? Brazil, Morocco.
I've gone 2-1 Morocco.
All right, fair enough. You've gone for the differential early doors. All right, that makes sense. Reese has gone 2-1 Brazil. So yeah, a lot of 2-1 Brazils in that. Iowa with a 2-2, and then Razor with 2-1 Morocco. All right, Germany, Curacao. I've gone 2-0. Should be light work for Germany, but I don't know if you've seen them in these kind of warm-up games. They've been winning, but they've not been battering teams. So even though I couldn't name one single Curaçaoian player, apart from, I think, Tahith Chong, ex-United, plays for them, I'm still going to go 2-0. I don't think Germany have got a super settled squad. And their team, looking at the starting 11 in that US game, it didn't move me. So I'm going 2-0 Germany. Io, what's your prediction in this one?
Yeah, similar to that vibe. I think comfortable win for Germany. 3-0 for Germany over Curacao.
Did you just hear him turn German for a minute? He said comfortable win.
Yeah, Gunners, yeah.
At a moment.
Meza Iozo out here.
Hey, I missed him. Hey, that was my name on FIFA. I can't even lie to you. That was my full club's name on FIFA.
I don't know, man. I'm going for more Io Mertesacker, same kind of height, kind of agility.
Put some respect.
All right, mate. He's a top squad. Was he like your under 21s or youth development?
He's gone now.
He's good, man. Has he gone?
He left.
All right,
He left just now.
He found
I rate him though,
man, and said goodbye, mate.
Fair dues. All right, Jonty, what's your prediction this one? Germany, Curacao.
Similarly to you, I've gone for 2-0 to Germany because they don't really play that nice football. I'm seeing Kai Havertz scoring bare headers, and I've seen his goal record for them. That can't be conducive of a team that plays very nice football. So, yeah, 2-0 to Germany.
Yeah, and Leonard Carl, I don't know if he was starting for them, but right? he's obviously injured now, and he was one of their star boys. Musiala hasn't looked the same since he's come back from injury. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I want Germany to do all right, but I hear what you lot are saying. Khem, what's your prediction in this one? Germany, Curacao.
3-0 Germany, man. Come on, it's still Germany in a major tournament. They'll figure it out.
All right, fair enough. Razor, what's your prediction in this one? This is your team, so I'm expecting you to give a positive prediction in this one.
Strong. Kai Havertz vibes.
So what do you go for? 3-0?
Yeah.
All right, cool. 3-0. Reese has gone absolutely mad. He's gone 4-0. But all right, cool. Let's see. Could be possible. All right, Spain, Cape Verde. I've gone 3-0. I'm expecting Spain to light them up, but with no Lamine Yamal, I don't know if it's going to be a crazy scoreline, but I think 3-0 is fairly doable. Io, what's your prediction in this one? Spain, Cape Verde?
What happened to Lamine? He's not playing?
He's injured, isn't it? He's missing the first few games, I think, of the group stages.
Oh, Martin. I did not know that part. No, I went 4-0 to Spain and just hoping for the cameraman to be on job. Let's just make sure. Let's just make
Bro.
I think that's what everyone's watching the game for, realistically. So we can all stunt if we want, but we all know we're true.
Fair play.
If there's no Lamine, we need some superstars.
To be fair, all of these games that we called, cameraman's going to be busy for all of them. But yeah, I hear you, bro. All right, 4-0 Spain. Jonty, what's your prediction this one? Spain, Cape Verde.
Yeah, I went 3-0. Even without Lamine, I still think they're going to slap them up. And I think a lot of people are not forgetting Spain necessarily, but I've heard obviously a lot of chat about France, a lot of chat naturally about England being in England, and then obviously a lot of chat about Germany and some other countries. But I think people are overlooking the fact that Spain are still a really, really well, well coached kind of team, organized team. And even with Lamine, I mean, I don't think it's like an Argentina type situation, like he's the Messi and he's just going to do everything for the team. I think they've got plenty of weapons elsewhere as well. And also, for them, kind of like what Khem was saying with Germany, some of their players just turn up specifically for them and are useless everywhere else. Can't remember what that blonde Don is for Barcelona.
Olmo?
The one that doesn't look Spanish at all. Yeah, that one. He's one of them where he plays for Spain and he turns into fucking prime R9, and then you see him elsewhere and he looks useless. So we'll see.
Slightly harsh on Olmo, but I hear you. But mate, I'm confused because I swear Spain are second favourites everywhere. Well, I've seen them after France, so I think they're up there in the kind of.
No, I mean more in the content, from the content side of things. I've been seeing obviously watching a lot of different shows where they're predicting who's going to be the winner and so on and so forth. And even within that, everyone almost forgets that Spain exists and are a very, very good football team.
Yeah, interesting. I would have thought they're up there. Yeah. The stuff I've seen, I haven't watched too much independent content creator stuff. I've watched a few different shows from the mainstream, and pundits have rated Spain up there. And I think they won the Euros, obviously beating England last time out. Lamine's obviously the star boy, but they've got good players. But the only thing I will say, Spain do weird selection stuff. And I'm still hearing that David Raya might not be the starting keeper and stuff like this. And I know they've got Joan Garcia, but I'm hearing the other brother might be the goalie. And if you've got Raya and Joan Garcia and you pick the third one, who's arguably the shittest one out of the three, then I don't know, man. They can throw curveballs in the wrong way. So let's see. I think that's probably their only downfall if it does come. Khem, what's your prediction in this one? Spain, Cape Verde.
I went 2-0. Spain are strong, but I feel like, Cape Verde had a very good qualification. They only lost one game, and one of their strengths was their defense. You can laugh, but Cameroon were in their group, bro. They only lost one game, and they had a good run. They were comfortably through as well. It wasn't even 1 or 2 points. It was about 4 or 5. So I feel like they won't get battered. They'll be dominated, but I don't think they'll get battered. And also, Spain are missing what was key for them, not in just Euros, but the Nations League, with the Nico Williams and Lamine firepower going 1v1 on the sides. Nico's fallen off and Lamine is just out. So, yeah, I don't know. I think they'll still be fine because they obviously have Pedri and Ruiz in midfield, who is solid. So, yeah, but I don't think they'll crush them.
No, I was just giggling because you researching Cape Verde's stats and performances is not what I expected.
I picked them though. I picked them in whatever round that was, so I did that time ago. But also, they surprised me, and I was debating going to that country one day, but they have too much.
That's why he's doing it.
I see. He's doing a scouting mission for his next vacation. All right, cool. Razor, what's your prediction in this one? Spain versus Cape Verde.
1 Spain.
All right. You've gone Spain slapping. Fair dues. Reese has gone 3-0 Spain. All right, France-Senegal. This one's going to be fun, man, because obviously France just played Ivory Coast, I think, like a week ago or something, or 4 or 5 days ago. Lost, surprisingly. Senegal, depending on who you ask, official, unofficial, are AFCON champions. One of the strong African nations going to be at the World Cup. A lot of people predicting them going quite far. I've gone 2-1 France. I think they're just going to nick it. But you know what? I was very tempted to go draw. Not because France are one of the big favourites, I hear it, but Senegal are a really strong team. And I just think that they're going to potentially... Remember, what was it, the World Cup? I swear, was it World Cup 2002, was it maybe, or 2006, when France played Senegal in their first game as well. And I think that was El Hadji Diouf. Big up you, Khem. You signed him after that tournament. A bit of a stinker afterwards, but he got the winner against France in that World Cup. And
no, wasn't it Papa Bouba Diop?
No, I'm pretty sure it was Diouf was like the standout player for them, wasn't he, in that World Cup? And they beat France. So I would be shocked if they did beat France, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was a draw. But I tried to be a bit more tactical and gone 2-1 France in this one. What's your prediction in it, Io? France is your team, obviously.
I know, allez les bleus. But yeah, no, I went 2-1 as well. I think you said tight game. Wouldn't surprise me, if it's a draw. But yeah, I think France's quality might just get them over the line.
Yeah, so many options, man. Did you see Elise got a hat-trick in her last friendly just now? So yeah, it's looking a bit scary, man. Looking a bit scary. Johns, what's your prediction, France-Senegal?
Yeah, I also went 2-1 to France as well. I mean, yeah, you just look at their record, and even if they don't play well, they beat teams constantly. So I do think that they will concede, though, because they've conceded to bloody Northern Ireland in that same game that you're just talking about with Elise scoring a hat-trick. So they concede to pretty much everyone. I'm looking through, they haven't kept a bloody clean sheet since like November. So, I think Senegal will get a goal back, but I think France will have too much for him, so I'll go 2-1.
Yeah, first, Khem, what's your prediction in this one, France-Senegal?
What did I pick? This was a difficult one. I think I put 1-0 to France. I think it'll be a cagey game for them. And also, them ones when certain countries have to go up against their colonizer, they just get up for it. This is the one again, so I feel like Senegal will make it bare difficult. It was Bouba Diop last time, RIP him, but I think France will get it done. But I think they'll struggle because they've got the dictator up front, so the chemistry won't be there. He's standing in front of presidents and making people like Shirky do awkward squats and making fun of him and stuff. And he's not shaking hands. He's not shaking hands with Kante, right? And if you can't get on with Kante, who's like the nicest footballer in the world, then you're a dickhead. So, yeah, I think they're favourites, but they're favourites if they don't play him, but they will play him. Sadly for them, good for us.
Yeah, I thought that Kante stuff might rattle you. All right, 1-0. Razor, what's your prediction this one? France-Senegal. Bro, your audio is mad low. I can't hear you there.
I think 3-1 to France. I think Senegal are going to have a good showing at this World Cup, but I don't think it's going to start on the first game. I think France are going to come out of the block firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, 3-1. Reese has gone 2-1, so a lot of us gone 2-1. So there's not too many differentials in that one. Portugal, DR Congo. I've gone 2-0. Going to keep it short and sweet. I like Congo, but yeah, bit worried about the firepower because Johan Wissa just coming off an absolutely diabolical season with Newcastle. So I'm struggling to see where they're going to be able to hurt Portugal. And Portugal obviously got a loaded midfield, CR7, probably with his last World Cup. A lot of people chatting about the team working for him like Argentina did with Messi. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull off a World Cup win, but I do think they're going to have a strong showing. So I've gone 2-0. What's your prediction in this one? Portugal, DR Congo.
Yeah, kind of similar. 2-1. Wan-Bissaka consolation goal, just for you.
Fair dues. I was expecting John to drop that one, but you and him switch places sometimes, don't you? The old FPL or bottlers. Johns, what's your prediction this one? Portugal, Congo?
Such an unnecessary shot on me. From the man that came sixth, by the way.
Wait,
I'm going 2-0 to Portugal. And the fact that you said probably will be his last World Cup for Cristiano Ronaldo, this guy is mental. The fact that he is still knocking about and he could theoretically go to another one.
He's homeland. He's going to another one, man.
And at half time, they're literally changing the whole team except for one player. Who is it? It's Mr. 1,000 goals himself, who's trying to play a full 90 minutes every match. So it's crazy. And then obviously the fact that they're punching up, man, and Rafael's just doing all sorts of madness. You never really know what's going to go on with that team, but they have the tools to do well. But I still don't think they click very well because much like what Khem was describing for France, they pandered to somebody that they probably shouldn't pander to and should probably focus more on playing as a team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many minutes he gets because I think Roberto Martinez is a strange manager. He underachieved with Belgium, and so you never really kind of know what he's going to do. But it seems like he has lent more towards the pandering side for Portugal, but they've obviously got a really strong squad, so they could easily rotate. Ken, what's your prediction in this one? Portugal, Congo?
2-0 to Portugal. I kind of have to cheer them on because I had to pick them in round one. They've arguably got the best midfield or best starting 11 midfield, you could argue, in the tournament. So I think they'll do all right.
Yeah.
And fuck Congo, they took out Jamaica.
Yeah, I knew there was something in that.
And Nigeria. So I hope they lose every game. Without scoring.
Yeah, fair enough. And with that one, Razor, what's your prediction in this one? Portugal, Congo.
Include us in your anti-Congo agenda, please. I've gone 2-1 Congo.
Good on you, man. Good on you. You know what? That we do want some shocks, right? Like in the group stage games, because they've got 3 teams going through in quite a few of the groups. Like you want the teams to actually go for it. There's never been a time where there's more incentive for like the kind of the smaller nations or the less favored nations to go and try and attack the bigger countries or the more favorable countries in these kind of games. And yeah, like you lot have mentioned, Congo have kind of, I don't know how many people expected them to make the World Cup. They had a difficult route, obviously playing Nigeria in the African qualifying phase and then getting through and playing other teams in the rest of the world playoffs. But they made it. So who knows? They've got a puncher's chance. Reese has gone 2-0 Portugal. So most of us have gone for Portugal, but as is the case with Brazil and Morocco earlier, Razor's gone for the underdog with Congo. All right, last game. Jonty's team, home nation, England, against Croatia. I've gone 2-0 England, but it was half-hearted because I don't know if you guys have watched the friendlies. I haven't been that impressed by... First of all, I didn't even know they were playing the New Zealand one. So you lot told me about it after the fact. So that was fun. And it ended 1-0. So that's not very comprehensive. And just, yeah, they've had some... Tommy Tukes has had some weird friendly results. Losing to Japan, drawing with Uruguay. They lost to Senegal as well, which I know Senegal, those teams are all pretty strong. But England are, like John's mentioned, highly favoured, expected to go far. And you wouldn't expect those results. So I've gone 2-0, but I'm not sure, man. I know Croatia got old midfield, Luka Modric still knocking about, Brozovic and all those guys, but yeah, 2-0. But I'm talking myself out of it, so I'll move on. What's your prediction this one? England versus Croatia.
Yeah, I've actually gone 1-1, so that's my surprise, I guess. Scoreline. Yeah, I feel like Croatia international tournaments, the last 2 have been yeah, they've been a force. Maybe they're a bit older now. Might not be the same, but yeah. I think a 1-1 could be on the cards for England, and yeah, we'll see. You will see. I'm not too infused, but we shall see. We shall see how it goes. But yeah, 1-1 and some bears being thrown at Box Park most likely. So you know how it goes. You know.
Seeing the juxtaposition of your like cheeky grin when you're saying 1-1 and John's just disgust that.
Disgust. I know, it's brilliant. I love it.
Oh, mate. All right, 1-1. Fair enough. I think that's believable. Johns, what's your prediction this one? Your team as well, England.
Yeah, I'm going for a 1-0 England win. Croatia's still got a good team, right? They've got Guardiola. I forget that they've, in addition to the experienced people that you just mentioned, like Modric, Kovacic, and Perisic, and these man, they've got some decent defenders as well. Like Vuskovic, I think, is apparently pretty good too. So they've got a good team, and they probably play more like a team than a lot of the other nations that we've just kind of discussed before. But I've got to go for England, and I think Tommy Tukes, he's a knockout specialist, man. So he's going to do something for us. And Io, you have just created a hater. I hope France lose every game now.
This always ends up happening. I don't know why you guys act like you created. You guys always end up feuding somewhere along the line, right?
I don't know what I've done for this, mate. Just Croatia's a good team. They're a good football team. I don't know what to do. I'm picking based on rationale. They're a good team, man. They got to the World Cup final a few years ago.
Bro, Johnson's bought in. He was showing me like Tommy Tukes' motivational speeches on our recent trip. So he's bought in, man. I hear it.
And that beer at Box Park might be coming at your head.
Well, mate, I'll be screaming that Kovacic winner. You'll see it happen, man. Don't blame me if it happens, man.
All right, Ken, what's your prediction in this one? England, Croatia.
I went 1-1 as well as the tall guy, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Welcome, mate.
I spent years hating on England when it was Southgate. Even when I watched the final with you guys together, I was there hoping. I thought Southgate was a fraud, but Tuchel's squad selection is a bit baffling, and the way we look is a bit strange. And Croatia, they've got previous on England, so they can prove
squad selection was baffling apart from Henderson being chosen. Yeah, that was the
one that made sense. They need leadership in there.
We wanted a shortish pod. Please, let's not open up this kind of worms. I beg you, because I'll get heavily involved, and I can't do that right now. It's
How many players in England squad have lifted the European Cup?
All right, wait. Let's not do this. Razor, what's your prediction? England, Croatia. What's your prediction, bro?
I'm glad that the Metline Scouser has remained committed to appropriating all parts of their culture, including the not supporting England. 1-0 to the England. It's going to be a stink fest. Going to harangue up this tournament. Yeah, Jonty and I were discussing this the other day. I can see us stink festing our way to a decent run in this tournament, and I have very few problems with that.
Yeah,
it's my national team, my club team. They both do it the same way, baby. Stink it up to the final. Let's go.
England are a nation where we need a drinks break after like 20 minutes in.
Well, then it's a good thing that we're going to fucking get one, then, isn't it? Shut up, you two.
Whereas over there, it's going to be like 30 plus, mate. He's not going to last.
Yeah, to be honest, we haven't really talked about that factor, but it will play a part, I think. I do think the nations that are more used to the hot and humid, and also the thing that's not been thrown out is, I think especially the games played in Mexico, there's potential for some altitude stuff going on as well.
Mexico City would be.
Yeah, which can be challenging as well. So let's see. But all right, Razor's gone 1-0. Reese has gone 2-1 England. So yeah, most of us have gone England wins, but a couple of draws in there. All right, so all of our predictions are in. Let's see. The World Cup obviously starts on Thursday because there's 12 groups or something ridiculous. I don't even know if we'll have all of our results by the next pod, but let's see how it goes. If not, we'll throw in the predictions for the following game week, potentially for 2 weeks from now. But we'll wrap up the pod here, guys. We tried to do it within an hour. We didn't manage to do it, obviously. Thank you for that, Khem. But we'll wrap it up here. Before we end the pod, Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, drop us a like, leave a comment, and share the video. And if you're listening to the audio version on the podcasting platforms, please follow us. Leave a 5-star review. That all helps the pod grow. And yeah, we'll catch up with you guys next week when we'll be chatting through some of the results and probably some transfer news as well. But yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.